Okay, we're ready.
Mr. Bradley.
Here.
Ms. Thomas.
Here.
Mr. Hardy.
Here.
Ms. McGuire. Mr. Thorne.
Here.
Ms. Bo.
Here.
We've got 5 out of 6 trustees in the room. We've got a forum. We've got a meeting. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of August 19th, 2024. Do we have a motion so approved?
I move.
Second.
Moved by Bo, seconded by Thorne to approve the minutes of August 19th, 2024. Are there any additions or deletions or corrections? Being none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Being no opposition, it passes unanimously. Thank you all. Okay, next item is the President's Report, Civility Pledge. Ms. Bo?
In the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each may have different ideas for achieving that objective.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the rest of the President's Report. You all note the Code of Conduct was passed at the August 5th meeting. It has been published in pamphlet form and then placed on the board, and it is being codified as we speak. And you shall, I would like everyone to sign the receipt of that and return it to the village clerk by the 16th of September. So if you need a signature sheet, Mr. Mills would gladly provide you one. So, see, I volunteer. That's a nice thing when you have now speaking room. Can't object. Okay, on with the President's Report. One of the more exciting things that happened since the last meeting was the grand opening of the long-awaited Long Meadow Parkway Bridge. Last Thursday morning, there was an inaugural ceremony for the opening of the bridge. And a bit to my surprise, Governor Pritzker showed up. And not only did he show up, he mentioned my name and thanking the people that had been preservative and staying with this project for the last 30 some odd years.
Nice.
Oh, wow. And I had a witness. McGuire was there to see it too. So. But I thought that was rather strange to be sitting there to hear my name called by the governor. Well, I gotta go to the back of the room.
That's right.
The bridge is open. If you haven't had a chance to get that way, I know a lot of people were opposed to it. Hopefully it will eliminate some of the traffic and Mr. Mills might be able to turn out on the 72 a little easier. Can I speak on that part? Later. Okay. Okay. That is it for the President's Report. We move to the Clerk's Report.
I do have something. The Attorney General's office has sent out an email inviting all members of the public to attend webinars regarding FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, and Open Meetings Act. These are of no cost to you. And it basically allows you to get up to speed for those people who followed my suggestion way back when you got sworn in. You're very familiar with both of these acts, but this is a good refresher course for you. And it's something that I will take as well. They're listed in there. There's several choices for you. And I certainly do encourage it. If for no other reason, then it makes you look a heck of a lot more intelligent up here during these meetings than when you're sitting there grasping and saying, now what do I do? Mentally, not verbally. But anyway, I do recommend that everybody attend these webinars. And that is all I have for tonight.
Newsletter.
The newsletter. We had, sent out to you, draft newsletters. Or the draft of the newsletter that, we're now seeking, your review and your comments. And I didn't print out a copy of it myself.
No,
But you got, everybody got it. Did anybody have any questions, comments, suggestions?
We're good.
No, I'm good. I read through it.
consensus is we'll let it call the press.
Okay. Now I'm done.
Thank you, Mr. Mills.
Thank you.
Okay, next is the planning and zoning, and Stepmer's not with us this evening, there's no P and Z, they have a meeting scheduled for next Monday night at 6:30. Brings us to the attorney's report, Mr. Schuster.
Mr. President, there is added to the meeting package, a draft ordinance to establish the new 3-inch water meter charge that has previously been discussed and approved by the board. So that would amend section 6-3-11 of the village code and add that in. It's anticipated that a new commercial user is going to need that much water. And utilize that size of the connection.
Okay, that is ordinance number
2024-09.
motion approved. Ordinance.
I move.
2024-09. Moved by Bo, seconded by Arnie to approve ordinance 2024-09, an ordinance establishing a water meter schedule for a 3-inch meter. Any other comments, questions, or discussion? Okay, there being none, roll call please.
Mr. Dadley.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Mr. Hardy.
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Ms. Bo.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes, no negative votes, and motion so carries. Thank you all.
That's all.
That's it. All right. Thank you, Mr. Schuster. Engineers report. Mr. Steele is not with us this evening. He did pass on word, however, that construction should be starting tomorrow on Crane Avenue. They've delivered some of the structures to the site this afternoon.
Signs are up.
The signs are up. They were delivered last Friday, so yeah, they're getting ready to rock and roll. So that should be, on everybody's radar. Don't go down Crane.
Find another way.
I forgot about that, but they do have I did get to try out their detour.
You did.
Yeah, it seems that-
Voluntarily.
Just for safety, I backed all the way through there.
All right. Okay. Any questions for the engineer we need to follow through on? If not, that's it for Mr. Steele's report. We'll move to the Director of Finance, Mr. Van.
Request a motion for the approval of the accounts payable in the amount of $107,515.76.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Thorne, seconded by Thomas to approve the accounts payable for September 3rd, 2024 in the amount of $107,515.76. Any additions or deletions, comments, questions, discussion? There being none, roll call please.
Ms. Bo.
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Hardy.
Aye.
Mr. Dadley.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes, no negative votes, and motion so carries. All
Tomorrow we're having the finance committee meeting. They're all invited, but agenda is already posted on the website, but the main thing we're going to be looking at is the sales tax. The non-home use like sales tax issue.
What time is the meeting?
2 o'clock. And finally, the field auditors did their field work on Monday and Tuesday last week, and they left very happy. So we're supposed to hear something, maybe this week or next week from their supervisors for any additional information that they might need, but I gave them everything that they had asked for, and everything went well.
usually tell by the length of time it takes to fill in.
And the first time they were here for the whole week, second time 4 days, and we're down to 2. So,
Pretty soon, I'll just be calling Eugene saying.
yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you, Eugene. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Comments from the public. Got a couple of items here. Gretchen Butler, St. Charles. Butler.
Hi, my name is Gretchen Butler. I'm the Republican candidate for Kane County Auditor. My husband and I, we have 3 kids that live, work, and go to school in this area. This community is very important to us. I have 25 years real life business experience, including owning our own hardware store where I did all the financials. 3 things that I'm committed to. First, performing all small and medium-sized transition audits internally. Second, providing nonpartisan leadership to countywide officials as well as departments. I think it's important to work across party lines to give objective oversight in the public's best interest. And then lastly, opening the books on the county's finances, providing budget details and audit findings in a timely manner. So if you would please consider, I would ask you to consider me as the next Kane County Auditor, Gretchen Butler. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Mel. Andrew Sosnowski.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Hello, directors and also trustees and the audience here. My name is Andrew Sosnowski. I'm the candidate for Kane County State's Attorney, Republican candidate. I'm going to ask you to get to know me, if you will. I'm on all social medias, so you can look in and find out my background, my credentials. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've been an attorney for 35 years. I started when I was 10. I lived in this community, an Elgin community, for all those 35 years, maybe a few years here and there out. My most important thing I want to tell you tonight is my granddaughter is in Sleepy Hollow Elementary. So she said to say hello to all the trustees and everybody here. She was excited that Grandpa was coming to Sleepy Hollow. As an attorney for 35 years, I've done so many different things. Most importantly, probably for at least 16, 17, or 18 years, I've prosecuted criminal cases in Kane County, McHenry County, Joe Davis County, Ogle County, DuPage County. The majority of those times I've been in Kane County. I was the person who wrote and directed the Advocacy Center, Child Advocacy Center in Kane County back in the mid-90s. And also started the Family Justice Division, and also made CASA, actually the court-appointed special advocates, the guardian ad litems. I helped do that as well back in the 90s. I've prosecuted cases involving child sexual abuse, some of the biggest, most notorious cases in Kane County history, and also murder cases of children in Kane County history. You can look on my resume on that. It's pretty replete with that. I've also been the General Counsel for the National Insurance Crime Bureau. The reason I bring that up, it's a national organization. I was the General Counsel for the United States of America, doing white-collar crimes with a budget of at least almost $10 million. So I know how to run organizations to that effect as well. And I was also the Deputy General Counsel of the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. I prosecuted child abuse, neglect, sexual abuse cases for DCFS in the state of Illinois back in the years of 2000. Currently, I have a general practice in Elgin, Illinois, and I also a professor at Aurora University. I'm a professor of criminal law and also a 23-year professor at Elgin Community College. As a matter of fact, when Dr. Sam walked out the door, he said, "We should be saying something about you. You've been here longer than me." So I'm there for 23 years. I'm proud of my accomplishments at Elgin Community College. Again, please get to know me. I'll come back and talk to any one of you anytime, answer any questions I can. And I would sincerely appreciate your support and your vote. This is not about partisan politics. It's about getting jobs done for our children, our families, our community. And I've been a community member and activist for the last 35 years in this area. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good luck. Okay, that moves us to trustees reports, roads and parks. Mr. Harney.
This morning I attended what I would call an update meeting with the IDA Randall Road Multimodal Improvement Project stakeholder meeting. This group has been tasked for designing an improvement plan for Randall Road that extends from US 20 north to the County Line Road. Sleepy Hollow is considered a stakeholder along this corridor simply because we're on it. I have to say the meeting was quite lengthy with lots of detail, and so that we're all on the same page, I'll go over every details. No, I won't go over every detail, but I'll just summarize what happened at the meeting. They refer to being in phase one of this project. In phase one, they have held 2 public meetings already, and 2 more will follow this fall. The meetings naturally are to hear for public input, and they take public input very serious. There were 73 attendees at the first public meetings. The emphasis that these people heard during the first 2 meetings, a clear signal was sent to them that the desire is for what they call people connectivity. And what that means is emphasis for safe pedestrian crosswalks across Randall Road, for connecting sidewalks that parallel Randall Road, connecting bicycle paths where feasible, and easy access to bus stops. They presented a number of PowerPoint slides that depicted how these were in the design feature at the present time. In late spring of 2025, a final design plan will be presented to IDOT for approval. After IDOT approval, it will then be presented to the legislator for approval and then funding. That would be called phase 2. So that's where we stand now on the project. Nothing else to report.
All right, thank you, Ed. Appreciate it. Randall Road's getting a lot of eyes on it right now.
It does.
From
I think it's
Big
in,
Timber all the way up
I think
to,
it's in the top 3 projects being considered in the state. So
little 2-lane county highway.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ed. Moving on to the next one, finance, Mr. Thorne.
Well, I did have something and then Mr. Van blurted out that the finance committee meeting is tomorrow at 2, and that was gonna be my whole report, but I don't seem to have a report now, and so I'll just say no report.
All right, thank you, Mark.
But we got that
Appreciate
over
it.
with.
Did you get that, clerk? There was no report. I got it. At length. Next is water and sewer, Ms. Bo.
Yes, I'm in contact with 2, and I'm reaching out to the other 2 residents to set up meetings to discuss the wastewater meters. And I've gotten already quite a bit of feedback just from mentioning at the last meeting about potentially looking at native rain gardens for some of the swales, acknowledging that it's not going to solve all of the issues, but recognizing that when we have a big hill that's coming down into the valley, there could be some ways that we could start mitigating it up there on our own end. I received a couple articles that I'm going to look into that have to do with prior conversations about this. Apparently, it's been an issue for 20-some years. So I don't think I'm reinventing the wheel, but I'm going to look into this so I can find out what we've tried before and what we can do moving forward. I also spoke with a resident. I've started working with the Conservation Foundation around here, collecting seeds. And I've met a wonderful group of women, a few Sleepy Hollow residents. And when I mentioned to them a potential for the native rain garden, she mentioned that they have the Sleepy Hollow Prairie set up, the Sleepy Hollow Elementary School Prairie, which had already been started with native plants, and that could be a really great resource. As well as she gave me a couple other individuals to speak to, such as Wild Ones, the local group, who can help give us a really good idea on building it in a slow way so it's not, we're not going to see this immediately happen overnight, but how we could start the steps, how we could start growing the seeds, how we could start this sort of thing. And actually, sorry to call you out, Bill, in the audience, but I was hoping to talk to you and Linda. I know that there had been a community garden when I wasn't living here at the time. I know that it has, I don't know what's going on with it currently, so I just thought I'd like to speak to you guys to see where that's at.
Right.
That being said, I also received an email from one of the residents up in Deer Creek stating that they like their grass and they've never had problems in the 35 years here. They're very resourceful, and I'd like to speak to Kyle, Jeff, and President Pickett about this. I just received the email. Both the husband and wife are engineers and have some more technical speak that I'm not quite familiar with, but they have some proposals about 2 additional drains that might be very beneficial up at Jamestown Court, and then gave us some guides to the geographic view of stormwater and how it's increased over the years up there. So I think this is something, in light of what Ed's talking about with Randall Road, as you said, this swales across all the different groups. So yeah, this all came to me and I just thought I'd let you all know, and I will be reaching out this week so we can converse a little bit more. So that's where we are.
All right.
Thank you.
Courtney.
Sorry, Tony.
Okay. Police and Public Safety, Mr. Diatley.
Just a couple things. We did have a few break-ins into vehicles last week on the west side. Please be mindful to lock your cars. Be mindful what's left in your cars. If you leave backpacks and stuff laying out, it just gives people another excuse to try to break into your car. So please be mindful of that. Keep your cars locked. If you see anything suspicious, please call the police. You know, let them know, even if it's somebody that stopped and sitting outside for a while that, you know, haven't seen them here for, why are they sitting out there? Call it in, please. So just be mindful of it. The police were out checking with residents to see if they had any ring footage or anything of that nature. So, you know, they're covering the bases and doing their job. So I'm going to ask all the residents to cover our bases and, you know, and help them with that. So.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Do you know, I mean, aside from vehicles being the common part, was it daytime and evening time or just at?
From my recollection, it was in the evening. It was later in the evening.
The cars this past week,
Yeah.
it was AM. It
AM.
was like 4 or 5 AM.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was about 5:30 a.m.
Was it?
There we go. How did you know
Sue?
that?
I knew it was later. It's before I get up.
It's early morning.
It was dark.
You read the reports, huh?
Okay,
Nothing further. Thank
that's
you.
it. All right, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Public Buildings and Environment, Ms. McGuire, you want no report? Okay. Next is Building and Zoning, Ms. Keller or Ms. Thomas.
I just wanted to give everyone an update on the pool meeting, the Aquatics Committee meeting that I attended last, the 21st of August. They had a gentleman there who gave whole thing about where the finances stood for the park district. What it would do if they had to go to the bank, getting park bonds, things like that. He explained everything and went over everything. And then the park district board discussed with the Aquatics Committee, because we had asked for 2 proposals for the pool, Randall Oaks, an indoor pool, and a cost to rebuild Sleepy Hollow. For us to make an informed decision back to the park district board, which way that we would like them to go, if both are feasible, things like that. And surprisingly, but very happy for me, the park district approved their group to go back and design both pools, Randall Oaks indoor and Sleepy Hollow. And it's gonna take about 6 to 8 weeks for that to come back, and then we'll have another meeting so we can look at it. The one thing that we did ask, because they were asking about water slides and this, I asked them if they could break it down, like line item by line item. Can you give us a cost of what it will cost to have a lazy river and things like that, a splash pad here at Sleepy Hollow, all sorts of stuff. So that's really good for us, that we'll be able to look at it piece by piece, break it down, maybe make it less, maybe make it more, you know, things like that. But it was a very good meeting, a good discussion with the Park District Board. I thought, Bill, you were there, and I thought it was a very good discussion. I did not think it was gonna go the way it did, so I was very happy that it did. And that's where we stand on it right now. We're just waiting for the cost to come back, and I'm gonna continue to keep Ed in the loop since he's parks and streets and all that, and then, there are some other items that I, will keep President Pickett aware of, and I could make him aware of.
Has the park district sort of changed their tune about the viability of redoing the Sleepy Hollow pool?
I don't know if they've changed their tune, but.
Because I thought it's like, no.
No, due to the feedback from the whole Dundee Township. They've kind of they're seeing things in a different light, I will say.
Hmm.
Which is,
Good
and
reason.
it could go the total opposite. They could say, yeah, it's too much for Sleepy Hollow, then we look at some other ideas, but. Right now, they're looking at it both, and only part of it too is, Mark, I don't know if I mentioned this before. But I was not aware that, the high schools, like Hampshire, those kids have to drive all the way to Rec House Center for, swim team practice early in the morning during swim team season. And then drive all the way back, winter roads, so that's why we're kind of pushing for. Another indoor out at Rec House Center, or not Rec House Center, at, Randall Oaks. And also Rec House Center is coming, they're gonna need repair, first like Sleepy Hollow, and Dolphins Cove is over 30 years old. I did not read, I know. So that is gonna start, they're having issues already with it, as we did with Sleepy Hollow Pool. So there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that, good questions being asked and good suggestions by everybody on the Aquatics Committee. So it's been, the Park District Board has been very receptive of what we've been talking about. So it was good to see the financial aspect of everything, where everything stands, but it was also good to have them say, we're gonna go ahead and move forward with phase 2, which is the design and cost for the 2 locations. So, and they did one thing, because some people have asked, well, why can't they build it? Why does it have to be Sleepy Hollow? Well, the Park District only owns so much land. There's no other place, a lot of it they lease, and they can't put another pool in any place else. This really is the one location, and it's safety. They're looking at safety too, like Ed brought up about, getting across Randall Road, and that's one of the things that was brought up. The kids would not be able to get across Randall Road to a pool there. So it's moving forward. So that's the where we stand on that. So it was good.
It's a work in progress.
Work in progress, but a very good work in progress. It's going along better than I expected it to go. I'm very happy with
Long
how.
Meadow Parkway took 50 years.
Thanks. Thanks so much. But it's work in progress, and people are sharing good ideas. Even the Park District Board is coming back with, ideas for the Aquatics Committee and stuff. So it's going good.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kelly.
All right,
That's it.
all right. Thank you, Kelly. Old business. First item under old business is the renewal of the Kane County Animal Control Agreement. This is a renewal. We have had an agreement with Kane County for the better part of some 20 years. This one stays pretty much the same. One thing I want to bring everybody's attention to is this is an agreement for the animal control between the village and the county, not the residents in the county. Any resident having an animal control issue needs to contact the village. And then the village will go on from there. The police chief is the only one in the village who I have authorized to contact and deal with the animal control. He can then pass that authority down to the sergeant or the other officers, but that's the way the animal control process works. The resident should notify us, then we will make the determination, with the stray, collect it, hold it, take it. But there are fees associated with this agreement. And if we don't pay for them, then the person that owns the dog has to pay for them. So I do, and one of the comments in this agreement is also a agreement that we will post on our website the information about how this process is to proceed. And if you look in the appendix of the agreement, you will see they've got quite a detailed thing. If you've got livestock, who do you call? If you've got, there was somebody, I think it was reptiles, they've actually got the guy's cell number.
Thank you.
But it's all there. So we will keep our end of it and post what we need to on our website to agree with their system or their situation. The other thing that was added that is new this year is section 12. And that one is an item named labeled mutual respect, adherence, and penalties. It was rather interesting. Kane County Animal Control and municipalities agree that mutual respect between the KCAC director and personnel and municipal officers and personnel is integral to the intended and productive effectuation of the animal housing contract. Behaviors that contribute to hostile, humiliating, and/or intimidating work environment, including abusive language or behavior or integration via any type of media source, including social media, are unacceptable and will not be tolerated. And then it goes into the process of how they will file such a complaint.
That was new.
That is new.
And that's aimed at municipalities, not citizens, not residents, right?
That's because citizens don't deal with these
Right.
people. It's the municipality, the police departments, and the trustees. Well, I'll tell you, it's a little crazy out there these days, and people are getting a little tired of the abusive behavior and whatnot, and they just said, if this is going to happen, the animal control will take processes and procedures to correct it. So just a warning to any of you, if you have any contact with them, don't put anything on social media about it.
I would just like to say really quickly, I take my dog out there for rabies shots and the whole facility, everybody I've encountered has been delightful. Just on that little note, but I'm sure that when they're dealing with these kinds of situations, emotions are high and who knows what else is going on.
I don't
But
think that was what they said about you, though.
no, that's not what they said about me. I'm like that crazy girl.
Okay, this is a 2-year agreement with a 1-year extension. Do we have a motion to so approve?
I approve.
Second,
Moved by Thomas, seconded by Thorne to approve the continuation of the animal control contract with Kane County. Any further comments, questions, or discussion? There being none, roll call please.
Mr. Dattley,
Aye.
Ms. Thomas,
Aye.
Ms. Bo,
Aye.
Mr. Thorne,
aye.
Mr. Harmon.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so passes. Okay, you all. Old business, we're still under old business. I have got one item under old business. There was an item posted on social media, speaking of that platform, that said that there was a new owner of 1601. That's why the lawn was cut. The vegetation was trimmed down. To our knowledge, there is no new owner of 1601. What happened was our code enforcement officer sent Conrad Ryback a notice that the vegetation was in excess of 8 inches. And Mr. Ryback has trimmed the vegetation in 1601. So just to correct any rumors out there, we have not been informed of any change of hand to that property. Any other old business to come before the board? There being no old business, new business. Any new business to come before the board?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by Thomas to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we are adjourned.
Ready then.
Next meeting, we resume on Mondays.
I when I heard about these vaccination things.